أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم كن لوليك حجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اللهم إني أسألك وأتوجه إليك بنبيك نبي الرحمة محمد صلى الله عليه وآله يا أبا القاسم يا رسول الله يا إمام الرحمة يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا أمير المؤمنين يا علي بن أبي طالب يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا فاطمة الزهراء يا بنت محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى يا قرة عين الرسول يا سيدتنا ومولاتنا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيهة عند الله اشفعي لنا عند الله. يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها المجتبى يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا حسين بن علي أيها الشهيد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن الحسين يا زين العابدين يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها الباقر يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا عبد الله يا جعفر بن محمد أيها الصادق يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا موسى بن جعفر أيها الكاظم يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن موسى أيها الرضا يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. يا أبا الحسن يا علي بن محمد أيها الهادي النقي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي أيها الزكي العسكري يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وصي الحسن والخلف الحجة أيها القائم المنتظر المهدي يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا سادتي وموالي إني توجهت بكم أئمتي وعدتي ليوم فقري وحاجتي إلى الله وتوسلت بكم إلى الله واستشفعت بكم إلى الله فاشفعوا لي عند الله واستنقذوني من ذنوبي عند الله فإنكم وسيلتي إلى الله وبحبكم وبقربكم أرجو نجاة من الله فكونوا عند الله رجائي يا سادتي يا أولياء الله صلى الله عليهم أجمعين ولعن الله أعداء الله ظالمين من الأولين والآخرين آمين رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم الشريف. I begin in the name of Allah, the compassionate, the merciful, the one who has created everything in its most perfection. And may the peace and blessing of Allah to his beloved messenger, the peak of his creation, the symbol of humanity, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wasallam, and his immaculate progeny, Ahlul Bayt alayhim salawatullah, especially the leader of our time, the awaited savior, Al-Imam Al-Mahdi, Ajjalallah ta'ala farajah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hasten his reappearance and make us amongst the dedicated and sincere servants of Imam alayhi salatu wassalam. Respected brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. As you know, today is Tuesday, and as we already promised you, every Tuesday we answer some questions that I feel a lot of people don't know the answer. And it is the day of Ahkam. I received few questions this week, and I want to share the answer with you all, inshallah. And still, if you feel that you're not satisfied with the answers, please feel free to contact me and call me And inshallah, I'll be glad to help all of you. One of the dimensions of khums, as you know, khums is for the income that exceeds your annual expenses. When you make the money or you make the income or any other things, it's not only about the money. It could be the rice, it could be the beans, it could be the clothes, it could be anything else that exceeds your annual expenses and you don't use it, so you have to pay khums. And your khums has two portions. One portion is for Sahmi Sadat, one portion is for Sahmi Imam. As you know, as Ayatollah Sistani ask you to spend all the khums inside the country, not outside the country. But if you have a family that they are eligible to receive khums, that's a different story. You can give some of the Sahmi Sadat to them. But generally, you cannot send the money out of the country. So try to spend inside with the permission of the representative of Marja. But some people, they have money, but the money is not in their hand, is not in their account. So they give loan to someone else. For example, someone else, like a brother or sister, they come and ask them the qard al-hasana, interest-free loan. So he gives the money to them, but still the money is his money. But he does not have any control on that money because he already gave it to somebody else. As long as the money is not in his control, he does not have to pay any khums. But as soon as the person who got the loan from him and who borrowed money from him, he comes back and he returns the money to him, as soon as he gets the money in his hand or in his account, doesn't matter, then that's the time that he has to pay khums from that money. Let me explain it a little bit more because I feel like a lot of people don't know the exact answer. Just like you have $1,000 extra in your house and you don't need it. Your brother comes and your brother asks you for $1,000. And you are a mu'min and you are trying to help your mu'min brother. That's a qard al-hasana, that's interest-free loan. So you give it to him the $1,000. And this $1,000 is basically your money, but he is using it because he needs it. But you do not have any power, any control on that money. So he's using it. After a couple of years, or after, for example, 1.5 years, he comes back with $1,000. And you got the $1,000 back from him. Because that $1,000 was extra money, and if you would keep it, it would exceed the annual expenses. So that time you had to pay the khums. But because you did not have the money at that time in your hand, and you give it to someone else, but right now, after 1.5 years or 2 years or 3 years, you got the money back from the brother, and now you have to pay the khums out of it. So this is about the qard al-hasana. The other question that I received, as you know, a lot of us, we have this issue in America that when you buy the house, you put some money as down payment. And then the rest of the money is from the bank. It's like if you buy a house for $100,000, you should put $25,000 in advance as a down payment, and then you get $75,000 as a mortgage. That $25,000 must be khums free. Let's explain it to you. It's a very, very important question, and it's a very important answer that a lot of people don't know this. Just like I have $25,000 and I have to buy at the house. At the same time, I have to pay the khums out of this, and I don't pay the khums. What is the punishment for that? So I have $25,000. I want to buy a house for $100,000. And this $25,000 will be used as down payment. But I did not pay the khums. It was obligated. The khums was obligated on it, but I did not pay it. So I bought the house, but now I don't have any money to pay the khums. Couple more years, I'm trying to sell the house. When I sell the house, I sell it for $200,000 instead of $100,000. Here I made the profit. So that time, 1/4 was $25,000 that I had to pay the khums, and I did not pay. But now 1/4 of the house will be $50,000. And now I have to pay the khums from $50,000 instead of $25,000. So this is very important. If you need more explanation, please contact me. So the money that you put as a down payment must be pure, the khums must be paid off. And then you can use it as a down payment. And that's going to be your annual expenses because you buy the house with it. At that time, if I paid a khums of $25,000 and then I buy a house for $100,000, because the money, the $25,000 that I put as a down payment is already pure and the khums is already separated. So now I want to sell the house. When I intend to sell the house is going to be $200,000. Do I have to pay any khums? No, I don't have to pay any khums, not a penny. But if this money, the $200,000, if I do not use it for 1 year, then 1 year or the day of the khums, that are annual day for my khums. If I don't use it, then I have to pay the khums from the $200,000, which is going to be $40,000 or $50,000. So this is very important. Again, if I paid down payment and a down payment is pure and the khums is paid, then the price of the house goes up. Whatever the price of the house goes up, it will be added into $25,000. And then they have to pay the khums from all of them. But if I did not pay, if I paid the khums for the $25,000 and now the house's price is $200,000 and I sold the house, so I don't have to pay any khums. If this $200,000 does not get spent, then I have to pay the khums. Otherwise, I don't have to pay the khums. It's just like in America. For example, you sell your house, you have 1 year, 12 months to use it to get another house. So the money will go to your bank account for 12 months. If you don't use it for 12 months and as soon as it exceeds the month of the 12th, and then you have to pay the tax. Otherwise, if you guess like within the 6, 7, 8 months, you find another house and you use that money to another house, then you don't have to pay any tax. Islam is exactly like that. That in Islam is similar. It's not exactly similar. That in Islam, if the money of down payment was already paid in khums, and you paid the khums of it, and then now you have $200,000, you sold the house for $200,000, and then you don't have to pay any khums. But if it exceeds the day of the khums, if it reaches the day of the khums and you still did not use it, then you have to pay from $200,000 khums. So this is one thing that actually we must answer for it. I have another answer for another question. As you know, you all have children. You have 8, 7 years old children, and you want to save something for their future. And at the same time, you don't want to pay the khums. Or if you save it for yourself, for example, just like I have $1,000. If I want to save it for myself at the day of the khums, so I have to pay the khums. But now I want to save something for my child. And my child is under the age, and he is less than 15 years old for the boys and 9 years old for the girls. What is the Islamic way to do saving for the children? It's a very important matter, brothers and sisters. Please listen carefully. And if it's not clear for you, please feel free to contact me and call me. There's ahkam that's called hiba. For example, you have 8 years old boy. Who is the wali for the boy? That's you, the father. So the father can put some money on the side for that 8 years old boy. But that money, from the day that he intends to give the money to his son, then the money will not belong to himself. So the money will be his money. He's just keeping it because he's not able to save it. So what does he do? He keeps the money and he saves the money for that 8 years old child. And then what will happen? When the child reaches to the age of balagha, 15 years old, at that time the money should be given to the son. And then the khums will become wajib on him to pay, not on you. What about if you want to pay the khums on his behalf before he reaches to the age of balagha? Yes, you can do that. For example, I have 8 years old child and I want to gift him $1,000. As soon as this $1,000 reaches the day of the khums, for example, 12 months passes and the money is still there, then I pay the khums on his behalf, not on my behalf, because the money does not belong to me anymore. So this is about the giving gift to unbaligh child. But if the child is baligh and you want to give it something to them, for example, just like your daughter is 13, 14 years old, you want to give some money for his future, for his college, for his car, you have to give the money to her hand, and she should take it, the qabs, this called qabs. And then after she takes it, then she tells you, Daddy, can you please keep this money for me? And anytime that she intends, she can take the money back from you. Islamically, you cannot say, you know what, I give it the money to you and I don't want to give it to you now, because she's silatul arham. And one of the places that you cannot get the gift back is for the time when you give something to your child. You give something to your, for example, cousin, to your brother, to your sister, to your father. When you gift something, you cannot take it back from them. So this is about the khums of the gift that you give it, the gift to the child, unbaligh child, and then you are not responsible for the khums, but you can pay the khums on his behalf. Then there's another question. When he becomes baligh and he receives the money, does he have to pay the khums again? No, because you already paid the khums on his behalf. Why did you pay it? Because you are the father and you have the power, you have the authority to use his money and to pay his khums. Now, but when he becomes baligh, when he reaches to the age of balaghat, at that time, you cannot touch his money, and that's his decision that whatever he wants to do with that money. What about if he doesn't pay the khums? It's not your business, it's his business, because the money is his money. You gift it to him, and he is reaching to the age of balaghat. Now he's using the money, and he doesn't want to pay the khums, so there's no responsibility for you Islamically. Inshallah, next week, yes.
All right. If you're saving money for children's college, for example, you're putting, let's say, $10,000 every year. Do you have to pay khums on that money with sitting there and piling up?
Yes, you have to pay. You have to pay the khums on his behalf. There's a question: who is your child? If the child is baligh, you cannot save anything without his permission. But if the child is not baligh, it's like you want to save something for him. That time, the money is his money, but you just take it and keep it. Then you have to pay the khums on his behalf, not on your behalf.
That's considered saving, right?
Yeah, that's considered saving. Doesn't matter, yes. So you pay the khums on his behalf, or you wait until he becomes baligh and you give the money to him, and then he is gonna pay the khums. Then the khums is gonna become wajib on him. So nothing is gonna become wajib on you, inshallah. So inshallah ta'ala, we will continue this discussion because there are a lot of questions, and inshallah we are going to answer all the questions. Wassalamu alaikum jami'an wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ajil farajahum ash-sharif.